Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Empires and Puzzles video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the brand new hero of the month, Viscaro. Before we get to this video, if you haven't checked out Gemstone Legends yet, come check it out. There are no joke thousands of players from Empires and Puzzles that have come over already, and for good reason. Simply put, it's a really fun game with some big advantages over Empires and Puzzles. We both know that the players that join these games earliest are some of the most dominant players. And this game is starting to really take off, so the longer you wait, the more you miss out on. Not only can you support the channel by using the download link in the description of this video, or by scanning the QR code on your screen, but doing so will also give you a free $50 starter bonus with an epic hero, gems, and gold coins, all for free, just by using the link or QR code provided. And then when you start, you'll gain access to beginner events exclusively for players who use the link or QR code provided that will give you another strong epic hero, a set of 5-star legendary equipment, and a platinum scroll for another guaranteed epic or legendary hero. Lastly, I have created a bunch of videos in a Gemstone Legends playlist on my YouTube channel to make learning this game as easy and fun as possible. So hit that download link in the description and get started with one of the most fun and deep Match 3 RPGs. There's a great community in Gemstone Legends, it has some huge advantages over Empires and Puzzles, and overall I think you guys are really gonna like it. This is literally the first day he's out. Someone already has him maxed at 20 emblems with a level 30 mono troop, so I could not pass that up. So they've clearly gone a more defensively built route here. His defense is, I think, about 800, which is quite good. So maybe they've gone a little bit mixed, but he was already more defensive leaning anyways. I'm not really sure. But we have 793 attack, 719 defense, 1531 HP. Okay, so we have a druid and we have a hero that really interacts with minions. So we'll look at the special skill, then we'll look at the passives. So slow speed, not my favorite, okay? Deals 190% damage to all enemies. Damage bypasses target's minions. Summons a cursed sapling fiend for all enemies. Fiend damages the enemy with 60% attack every turn. A lot of text here. The cursed sapling fiend absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed health equal to 45%. So that's a lot. There's no ailment with the fiends unless this last thing counts as an ailment. Attacks from a cursed sapling fiend deal extra damage if the target has minions. So I guess I'm curious to see how much extra can that actually be. It's hard to imagine that it's much at all, but we'll have to see. Because these fiend hits are already not dealing that much damage. I think they're maybe around 40 to 50. So what is extra, like 60? You know, does that really matter? One interesting synergy that I was thinking about was with Balbar. Who's doing extra damage to a single target, and that fiends and minions are not going to wake the hero. So I don't know if there's some interesting synergies that are possible that I'm not noticing yet, but it doesn't seem that great to me. I mean, the damage is quite low for that attack stat, but it's not nothing. It's pretty low for slow speed though. But then you're putting, so you're bypassing minions, which is nice. That's a bit niche for a slow purple hero. But then you're adding the sapling fiend, which is absorbing 45% health and dealing extra damage if the target has minions. So that means the damage is going to go into the minions first. So once the minions are killed, the extra damage goes away. So he's kind of like a slow anti-minion hero. So anyways, interesting. Element Link gives all dark allies plus 10% attack for 4 turns. Not that great. 10% is pretty low for attack. Like 10% crit is a lot better, I would say, than 10% attack, because crit is the chance to deal double damage, where this is just going to move up the attack a slight bit. Okay. When an enemy summons any minion by special skill, the hero summons a cursed sapling fiend to that enemy. So that's one of the best things about him, I'd say. Not so much on defense, because you can just go around it. But if you bring him on attack against a minion-heavy team, they're going to be summoning these fiends onto themselves without knowing what's going on. So this passive is completely unrelated to his speed, so that's a good thing. So enemy summons so summons a minion by special skill, so not going to be a druid thing, or not going to be, I don't know if that counts as dodge for Catalan. I don't think it would, where a minion spawns. So when they're dodging, that's not a special skill thing, that's just a buff thing. It's like Bira makes a minion when casting special skill. Okay, and then hero has innate resistance against incoming negative effects and damage from minions. So one of my favorite passives for Heroes of the Month, and it's obviously a great fit for him. So let's jump in here and see what this hero is like. I'll bring a minion team, which is the worst thing you could do here, but that way you can see what he is going to be capable of in the best case scenario. So for a minion team, I'm thinking, let's go with this fun new team. All right, so main things we want to see: what kind of damage he's doing, what kind of fiend damage, or how the fiend damage increases with minions on. So I'm just trying to think how to get these purples going as quickly as possible. Let's do this. And I think because the fiends cast whenever we make minions, regardless of whether he's fired or not. Yeah, you can see right away. Fiend is there 685 health that it absorbs, which is a huge amount. Okay, so 713. That's a big amount. Yeah, so now everyone has minions, which means we won't get to see strictly the difference. But you can see the damage there is actually pretty high. 85, 90, that's definitely the highest I've seen, which is what's supposed to happen. So what we need is to get rid of some of these minions so we can see specifically how much extra damage there is. So we have increased defense still. All this stuff together should get rid of some of the minions I have on me. So yeah, we have increased defense, so we're going to see a little bit of a reduction in the amount of damage that he's doing because of that. But let's see what we get here. So low to mid 200s. Keep in mind that's at plus 20 and with a level 30 troop. I don't know exactly what path. It does not look like the full attack path, but it might be because he's more defensively built. So now we have 1,400 health. That's going to be absorbed. So he'll be really interesting in Minion Wars. Let's see. Maybe they wrote around it. Summons minions by special skill. So that won't work in Minion Wars. So I'm trying to think what he's good for. Like that's the thing, is he has a lot of cool stuff going on, but when and how are you going to use it? And that's a question you really need to be asking yourself. Minion Wars, it's not going to work. Putting him on defense is a bad idea. Just avoid minion heroes, and you're fine. Obviously, what is happening here, I've completely done to myself just to exaggerate the effect, so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, it's not hard to get around him on defense. You just don't bring heroes that have minions as part of their special skills. So using him on offense, how many teams are you encountering that have a lot of minions on them? There are a good amount on raid defenses. In wars, I guess some people are still using purple tanks, but Freya and Bira are much less prominent on defense than they were before. So that's, again, he's got some cool stuff going on, but how often are you going to encounter that? I don't really think it's going to be that often. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's just something you want to think about. So he really locks you down if you have minions, because you can't force his fiends out, right? When I cast more minions, I get more fiends as well. So now I'm in a huge deficit of healing here with like more than 1,500 health that's going to be stolen. And to be completely honest, this was not a team that I was worried about. I'm like, yeah, they got dodge, they got healing from Heimdall, whatever. I'm not worried about it. I'm actually getting a little bit worried that because of the massive deficit to healing that I have, that I'm not going to be able to come back. And this is a pretty damn elite team. So see if we can kill. Okay, well, he's dead, so we'll have to come back and rematch this again. I am filling a raid chest here, so let me just kill a couple more of these heroes. And so we never bounced back from that massive health deficit. All right. So let's rematch again. So we've seen what it looks like with a minion team. I guess we haven't been able to see exactly what the difference is. Well, I don't know that it really matters. I think from what I recall, let's double check. From what I recall, 60% is the default damage done by fiends. 43% attack. 43% attack. Where is he? 45% attack. Okay, so he does have the highest damaging fiends, which is kind of interesting to find in a hero of the month. So that's pretty cool. 60% and even more. So I don't know that we need to show what 60% is like. It's going to be a slight difference from 43 or 45 or whatever. However, we've also seen what it looks like with the extra damage. So don't expect this to get higher than 90 or so, low 90s, high 80s to low 90s on defense, where you have that extra attack boost. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I think since we saw what the upper limit is, I don't think it's necessary to show how much it differs, because that part's not too far out of the realm of our typical experience. It's just this new ceiling we needed to see because he has the ability to do extra damage. So let's take a non-minion team here and see what we encounter. Oh boy, that's a nice board. Not even close to killing Hinitra. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah, if you have any experience with this hero so far, definitely add that to the comments, both for my benefit and anyone else watching. Alright, so here's some damage without a defensive buff. 227 to about 270, that's pretty good. 190, he's got his little buff now, so he's just about at 1,000 attack. I imagine you might be able to take that a little bit higher. So the biggest issue for him is just his speed. I think what he has going on is pretty cool, but his speed is quite slow. and that, has a very real impact on how usable he's going to be. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind. As always, the heroes of the month are the most appealing for people that don't have quite as many options. And there, Snowfod healed about 600, and these were 670, 700, 720. So quite significant. The 60%? 45%. The 45% health steal is quite significant. What happened with Alfrake? She's just not ready yet. She should be ready right now this turn. Okay, he's going to go off again. We have Taunt. But even with Taunt, that's like, collectively 1,400 damage that this guy's going to be taking, which is pretty massive. 1,400 damage approximately that would be absorbed by these things. So yeah, that's probably the best part about it, is how much health they can steal. It's got some cool passives. The biggest downside, if I didn't completely explain this point, is his speed. I think if he were to be released as an event hero, the damage would be higher. A few of these aspects would be inflated, and the speed would be like average or something like that. Or the speed would be average, and they would, tweak something to maybe slightly worse, but change the speed significantly. So, as a hero of the month, not bad. Certainly not bad. How good he is, of course, really depends on your options. So you'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say on this guy. I recorded the first part of the video earlier and then had to wait to record the second part. So I just want to see if there's anything else. So we've looked at the damage. Yeah, I guess the other part that I hadn't said recently was the bypass targets minions, the damage, so it's not going to be absorbed. So yeah, he's a very cool anti-minion hero. His speed is his biggest weakness. And I don't know how practical he'll be. It depends on how universal you want heroes that you ascend. Like, if you have a developed roster, then you can ascend him just as a anti-minion hero, and you can use him just for that purpose. And like, for example, using him with Snowfod, for example, that makes him now functionally fast speed. And so if you're against a minion team, well, he's going to do pretty good damage. He's not removing the minions, but he's bypassing it. He's absorbing a ton of their healing, which is really not as good of a feature on offense, because not a lot of defensive teams have healers on them. That can tend to be a bit of a weakness. So I don't know that I have my thoughts completely straightened out on him, but I think these various points of discussion should accomplish what I'm aiming to, which is to help you decide if this hero is right for your roster, your options, your teams, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully that is helpful. And that's that. Don't think there's anything else that I want to say about him without rambling even more than I have already. Don't think I'll level him. I guess that's something that I can say. Not because I think he's bad. I do have plenty of tabards right now, but not druid emblems, and I just don't think I'd have a place for him. He's usable for sure, but he's not like, ooh, you really want to level up this hero because he does this one thing really cool. He's usable. Yeah, and that's what I think. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully that was all helpful enough to be incorporated into helping you decide what is significant about this hero for your own roster. So please hit that like button and subscribe. Additionally, we have memberships on the channel now, which will give you exclusive members-only perks. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description of this video that'll give you some more information. You can see what the perks are, but it's like loyalty badges and custom emojis to help you stand out in the comment section more and just differentiate yourself a little bit more. And yeah, just click on the link. You can see what is offered for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.